Here we go.
Yet
again, another episode, another week. We're here. We're by ourselves again. Chris Baumick was going to come by from Echelon, VP Retail Sales. Actually had a meeting with him today and his team about potentially doing some business together in logistics. Went well. He wanted to come in. He wouldn't be able to come in studio tonight, so he wanted to come in studio on the 22nd. So that's what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks. He's already locked in. He's gonna bring us some gear in, talk some Echelon. Fired up.
Can you bring us a bike?
I wish. That'd be nice. A bike would be really nice. So we did that today. Let's catch up a little bit. How was your weekend?
It wasn't bad, you know?
Yeah?
I had a little bit of a skin irritation thing. My head started itching really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think I broke out in hives. I was worried like bed bugs. I was worried about dandruff. I was worried about all these things. And then like my hand started itching because I was scratching my head. I was like, either I have scabies, which I don't know how I would have gotten.
Right.
Either that or ringworm, which I've never had. Which
and you wouldn't have it on your head.
Yeah.
You know?
Or an allergic reaction to something. Because I ruled out bed bugs pretty easy.
Yeah.
I looked in my bed. I
tore
bugs? Apart my bed. Like underneath that, like my box spring already had like some missing pieces of cloth underneath. So I just kind of ripped it open a little bit more so I could see inside. Totally clean, dusty, but totally clean.
Right.
Nothing that would signify bed bugs.
Yeah.
So I was confused. I was frustrated, but seemingly it's gone away. My hands still sort of itch. They like swelled up a little bit and like felt tight, and it was hard to close my left hand. But you know, just it's whatever. I guess I was worried for like a long time over the weekend. I was like, what have I introduced in my life?
Well, yeah,
Zoa. And I was really upset because I love those things.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like it when your body doesn't work the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, it's like electronics. We've had this conversation before.
I want it to work the way it's supposed to work.
Just work the way it's supposed to. If you don't, I'm frustrated.
Yeah, like at 30, maybe last year, 29, I started getting some like acid reflux when I eat certain things. So that's a bit of an issue now. I'm not a fan of that feeling of feeling like battery acid is in my throat.
Yeah.
Not a huge, especially when I'm late, because it doesn't happen when you're standing up. Never do you get acid reflux when you're standing up. But it's as soon as you end the day, you eat something nasty or whatever, you lay down on the couch to watch Netflix, it's 10 minutes into the movie, and then battery acid's going down your throat. And then your body tries to correct itself, so it sends like fluid down from your head into your
esophagus.
Yeah. And now you're trying to spit that up, but you really need that to go down, so it's going to help you. It's just a whole frustrating deal.
Like a couple of years ago, I realized I am now lactose intolerant. I used to be cereal in the morning, like healthy cereal, because my mom was a health nut back then. Healthy cereal with solid, good milk, which is
real quick, newsflash. There's no healthy cereal. Go ahead.
I know, but like I wasn't eating like Fruit Loops and frosted.
Yeah, that's what we
flakes.
keep on deck at the house.
Well, yeah, it is. That's what I have now too. But back then it was like, okay, I know you like sugary cereal. You have it once a week. The rest of the week you're
Cheerios.
You're eating like plain Cheerios. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, like I used to love milk. I love ice cream. I love milkshakes especially. And now I just can't. I mean, I can. I do it anyway. It's just like how I eat cheese.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no.
Right.
But my body does not like it anymore. I'm just like, why? We used to love it, body. Why are you changing? Don't change.
Yeah, it's strange. Dairy is one of those things that kind of people grow out of. Or they grow into.
Grow out of and into. Like it's just how your body processes it. Yeah. So
and I think it depends on like what you do when you grow up. I have always loved milk. Milk has been a staple. A lot of bodybuilders, even Darren when he came, he was like, well, you like milk? Because I said, I like to, it's hard for me to kind of cut out some things. I'm like, yeah, I like milk. 240 pounds, I'm jacked. I like milk, bro. I'm gonna drink if I gotta sacrifice my bottom two abs to keep milk in my diet, forget it.
Who cares about the bottom two?
Yeah, forget it.
Nobody's looking there.
Forget it, man. So yeah, that was fun. What else I do over the weekend? Let's go ahead and run through it. Had wrestling last week.
Yeah.
Southern Honor Show. bunch of people are asking me, hey man, I want to come to the show. Like the boxers that have been coming on, MMA guys, like a little bit more of a little crowd here now. So they want to come. I was like, hey guys, it's pro wrestling. It's not boxing. So don't come to this one. Why not, man? We want to support. I understand you want to support. I'm just letting you know, don't come to this one. I know how these things work. So we did a show. We did a spot where Corey came out. We're continuing our story. And I didn't even come out to music. I literally came out behind him. He had that reaction. Oh no, there's Gunner. I grab him by the hair, start punching him, beat him up all the way around the ring. And then eventually I throw him into the ring. The bell rings for the match to start. I go to spear him. Boom, crowd goes crazy. Finally, I got my hands on Corey. And now I'm knocked out. So now the crowd's feeling a little bit confused. Why am I the one knocked out if I just speared him? Corey rolls me over, pins me 1, 2, 3, beats me in 23 seconds, the fastest win in the history of Southern Honor Wrestling. So I now have the fastest loss in Southern Honor Wrestling history. But Corey had on a metal plate underneath his shirt, and that's what beat me, a la Bret Hart Goldberg in like 1998 or 99. So we did that. Pretty good spot. Pulled it off. Leading into, we got the Rumble coming up in August. We got a match coming up in September, and then a big match in October. So keep that in the cards. From there, we had Saturday. What was Saturday? What would we do Saturday? Tia didn't work. What would we do Saturday? What do Saturday?
I don't know. It was probably a lazy Saturday, I'm assuming.
Braves game.
Oh, yeah. You talked about it last week.
Went to the Braves game. Went to the ATL. My buddy Mcgregor and his girlfriend Mara went down with us to the Braves game. Braves got beat, but I didn't even care. I didn't even hardly watch the game. I was just talking to my friends. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Ate a lot of food. Drank a lot of drinks. A bunch of snacks. Probably had like 5 ice creams. They just keep throwing stuff at you. Ice cream bars, whatever. So that was fun. And then Sunday, didn't do a whole lot Sunday. Monday was July 5th. Oh, so Sunday was July 4th. Marcus went and shot the fireworks. And then Monday was July 5th, which is one of my buddies at work's little kid's birthday, which is friends with Marcus. So we went to the pool, had a birthday party, did that whole thing. I got burnt. And I just had on a tank top and got burnt. So I pretty much had like that, blind date with a bunch of dads.
Of course.
You know how that works. I'm in the dad corner now. That's a little bit. That was my first non-Tia party in the dad corner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was fun.
That's probably like a new step.
That's a new step, man. Like, and I'm one of the younger ones. I'm like a young dad.
Yeah.
30 compared to all the guys that were there. I mean, not too much older than me, but still. And he's not necessarily my son, but is. So then that conversation is always get brought up, like, which one's your boy? And it's like, well, it's that one. It's marked that one right there. And then it's like, how long? When was he born? Or something like. Well, it's actually my girlfriend's boy, but pretty much, that's my kid.
I feel like dads and guys like, oh, okay, like that's the reaction. It's not like anything.
No,
negative.
It wasn't even a question.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my kid. Like he's with me all the time. That's my kid.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then Tuesday back to work, man. Tuesday was probably the slowest day at work we've had all year.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get the... Did you go to work on Monday?
No.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've always worked in places that are open every day except for Christmas, basically.
Right.
So I've never understood... I don't think I've ever actually like heard of that until here recently when I was up at, Anchors and we're open. We're just like, there's nobody coming in.
Yeah. So especially in like manufacturing and like logistics, a lot of those plants shut down just because it's America, right? Now
it's National Hangover Day.
But now if you got business that is internationally driven, you're open. You're still, if stuff's coming to the port, stuff's also coming to warehouses in the States. They're not going to shut down. Like one of my customers, a Hobby Lobby, we don't do much with them, but they were the only customer of mine that was open all weekend. So, is what it is. But Tuesday was super slow, man. Like worrying slow almost. Like one of those things where it's like, ooh, have we
did something happen?
And did we decline? And then yesterday in the day we got plenty.
Yeah.
So we're good.
I love those moments, especially like just in personal life, but it's just like something's wrong.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
Something's desperately wrong. It always happens. Like if my Wi-Fi is not working, my anxious brain is just like, oh God, is it happening?
Yeah.
Is this the moment?
This is the war. This is the war. What else? Get this stuff out of the way. Meeting today. Finish that up. Pretty good week. Oh, so you remember a long time ago when I was talking about getting Tia a car?
I mean, you mentioned it a couple weeks ago.
I did
too.
mention it a couple weeks ago when we had that Tahoe. Right?
Yeah.
So me and her and I
I don't
us
like where this is
together
going.
combined as a team.
Yeah.
Right. We have a difference of opinion on vehicles majority of the time.
Okay.
Like her favorite car, and you can look it up, is an Audi R8.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
I'm
her
familiar.
favorite. It's Audi supercar.
Yeah. Yeah.
100 let's call it $120,000 roughly. That's like her dream car.
Okay.
My dream car was a 1970 Dodge Charger.
1968 Chevy Impala.
Okay.
So I mean, we're very
All right.
similar.
Yeah. So 1970 Dodge Charger, that's my dream car. Now, if you had to tell her, hey, pick the most credible car for you to have right now at this moment, what should it be? She wants to keep her car. It's a beater car. It's like this cheap car she bought that barely works. She hates it when I say that, but I mean, it's not that it barely works. It's like, I bet she's almost put more into like
fixing it
and tires and in the shop and rental cars. If you add all that up, but she's gonna hate me. I hope she's not gonna listen to this. She's like,
she never listens to these.
Yeah. So she don't get in 10 minutes of this. How far are we in? 11 minutes?
11 minutes. Yeah. Right at the cutoff.
So yeah, man. So like, she likes trucks, but for me, a truck is not for a girl. That's just my opinion. Sure, you can have a truck, equality, whatever you want. But like, for me, a truck is not for a girl.
Gunner, your sexism is showing.
Super sexist. Like I feel like a girl is like an SUV. I like an SUV.
Yeah.
That's what I see. For girls, I like white. I don't necessarily like black. Right?
That's weird. I don't.
It's just
I get it. I'm just like
it's just my thing.
Yeah.
So like in my
if Tia listens to this, your gas is getting beat.
Yeah. So my thing is like, I've always wanted to like get her something super nice, but I never want to not get her what she wants, because even though she doesn't ask for anything, she's extremely picky, and you can say that you're not, but you are. She wants what she wants. So I was going to surprise her for her birthday, and I was going to get her a car. I was going to get one of those Tahoes or whatever, because she's mentioned she liked the new Tahoes. I figured that out. She likes the new body style of the Tahoes.
Cool.
Here's the problem with that. GMC makes one too. It's called a Yukon, and it's the same car, except it's nicer, more luxury. I'm bougie. Yeah. I like luxury.
Yeah, I'm bougie.
So I've been looking all around the internet trying to find a Tahoe that's, black, even though it is a Z71, whatever. And what's crazy is right now, brand new cars are cheaper than some used cars.
Oh, yeah.
Which is extremely weird. Why? There's a chip problem. So the same chip that goes into computers, same chip that goes into fitness equipment, same chip that goes into every car is made in China. And that port is extremely backlogged right now. So, like Chevy, depending on who's got the best relationship, it's really like your international companies are the ones that are getting these chips.
Yep.
And Ford, not necessarily Chevy.
Yeah.
And they're going into their F-150s and their Silverados, not their entire line of cars.
Yeah.
Integrity Chevrolet might have 50 cars on the lot.
Yeah.
Right now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I've got her idea. I got an idea of like what she wants. So I was like, hey, drive with me over to Integrity. I was thinking about getting you a car for your birthday, which is next month. I was going to surprise you. I'm terrible at surprises, and I want you to get what you want.
Yeah.
We walk over there and we go look at a Tahoe. And she's like, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, this entire time you've been gun-ho on Tahoes. Now it's So, and then right next to the Tahoe is a white Yukon.
Yeah.
Now, this thing's bad. Right? It is nice, right? And I've got a picture of her on my phone, and she didn't know I took it. But like, it's like her body language, just looking at like the car, like I can just tell that's.
Send it to me. I want to put it like to the left of you in this video.
Yeah.
You do it later. I'll remind you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do it later. Yeah. But anyways, so I'm sitting there. I'm like, so that's the one you like, huh? And she's like you like Yukon? She goes, no. I said, what do you mean you don't like Yukon? She goes, no, I don't like Yukons. I like this one. And I was like, oh, so wait, like you like this SLT, the loaded one, like not the Denali, but like, it's pretty much a Denali without the Denali stuff. It's got all the options, right? Just a lot cheaper. So I was like, you like, you know, like a similar one, like you want black or white? She goes, no, like this one. And I was like, okay, so if I can find one, she goes, no, if you can't get this one, I don't want it.
Continue.
Yeah.
Just continue. I'll ask questions later.
Yeah. So I'm like, as in this one parked in this spot in Chattanooga, Tennessee at this integrity. If someone was to buy this by, I don't know, let's call it Saturday, you don't want a car anymore? Yeah, pretty much the answer. Yeah. So I'm going to go to the car dealership on Saturday and try to buy the stupid car.
Let me get this straight. Did she say why?
She's the type. She doesn't want to waste time shopping. She doesn't want to waste time looking. She doesn't want, when she sees it, now it's not like, hey, we're shopping anymore. It's like, I want that one.
Okay. I can respect that.
But she never wants anything. So for me to even hear her say the words, ooh, I want that one. Like your boy's trying to, I'll be waiting on them when they open Saturday. So I think I've got everything done as far as like, whatever you got to get done to go get a car.
Get a car?
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna pull the trigger, but
you probably should.
Yeah.
If that's how she is and that's how she acted in the lot.
I've never seen her like that.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where like, I'm probably gonna. And I told her like it's might be like a birthday or a Christmas or even like, because I was like, it's better to buy a car like in November because they're trying to get
all the old,
But now they don't have any inventory to bring on for 2022 yet. It's going to be probably mid 2022 till that line comes out. They hadn't even started. Everybody is usually, like especially Ford and Chevy, promoting their 2022 line now.
Yeah.
They don't even have the 2021s out there.
Nope.
So.
I think I sent it to you as a joke, but I was thinking about getting a truck.
Yep.
And literally the next day, Ford puts out the F-150 Lightning.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
2023, huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
But as I've been like, I was literally playing my PlayStation 5 and I was like, they're not going to have fucking chips for those fucking cars, are they?
Yeah, they will by then.
Well, hopefully by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
But like buying a car right now, you're not going to get a 2021, 2022. You're going to be settling for 2020.
Yeah.
Maybe. So
I found that one is a 2021, but it's literally the only Yukon in town. And then if that's the case, like if I can't make this work, it's going to be like, because now I know she wants white on black. Like she wants white exterior, black interior. She wants the work. She wants the DVD. Dude, it has 12.5-inch screens in the headrest, like and premium.
You said 12.5?
12.5-inch screens and premium Bose sound.
That's like an iPad in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Like
it's literally the headrest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. And dude, brand spanking new and literally cheaper than a 2020 used one with 20,000 miles.
Cool.
Don't ask me any questions. I don't know.
Don't ask questions.
I do not have answers.
You won't.
Like if somebody, like whoever goes and buy, like right now, car dealerships are calling people that just bought cars and saying, hey, come back and we'll buy that back from you for more money than you paid for it. Damn. Yeah. So I've had 2 people I know for a fact had Raptors in the past year. They bought them in the past year. 10 to 15, 20,000 miles on it over the past year. Car dealership called and said, hey, how many miles is on it? Have you had a wreck yet? They're like, no, mileage is 15,000. Cool. We're going to pay you $5,000 more than you paid for it. Come on in. We'll get you something new.
I mean, I feel like I would take that.
Yeah. They did. Both of them did.
Yeah.
Both of them did.
If you can do that, get a decent car, and then
if you can drive a $70,000 car for a year, put all that wear and tear on it, take it in and sell it for $75,000. Now get a $75,000 car for the same payment?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, makes zero sense. So, yeah, man, I haven't had a car shop since 2014. Just got my payment last year. So, I mean, if I've ever been in a spot where I can buy a car, it's now.
So wait, you're done paying off your car?
I paid my car off February last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was fun. And like, it was one of those things, like I used to be an idiot with money. Remember those days?
Yeah. Well, I'm in those days. So yeah.
So yeah. I'm like, it's finally to a spot where it's like, oh, this is how you do these things.
Yeah.
Like, dude, here's how dumb I was. When I was like 20,
I'm just going to say yes, everything that I've done personally.
Yeah. So when I was like 20, let's say 2014 to like, let's just call it 2014 to 2017. Let's call it that. I bet you when I would sit down and like calculate my finances, be like, oh, I have enough money to get this apartment. I have enough money to get this apartment with this car, have this stuff coming out monthly, and I'm still got this much left.
Yeah.
Right? I would budget to make it okay for me to buy it and then throw the budget out. Like that's how I work, right? So I like say it wasn't, let's just put it on 50K on just flat number. If I was making $50,000 salary and I knew that's what I was making, I based everything off of $50,000, not $50,000 take taxes out.
Yep.
That's how I base everything.
Yep.
So I'd be looking at everything like, oh man, I got plenty of money. $1,200 apartment, $400 car payment, $150 for insurance, all the streaming stuff. Let's just add that all up and just call it $150. And then, some bills, $200, $300. I still got $3,000 left over. Wrong. Not the case. Not how it works. Not the case.
God, that's how I am right now.
There was times, man, where I would like, because then I was having to have a social life. I was still trying to play Mr. Party, Mr. Go Hang Out guy, right? So I had to get drunk on the weekends and go party. So, that was more important than paying bills. So like, I don't know if you figured this key out or not, but this is funny. So
give me the key. I need it.
I don't know who you bank with.
It depends.
Okay.
So I've got 3 at the moment.
So my main bank is Regions. And then like, I have like my savings and my credit cards through Capital One.
Yep.
So that's the only bank that I deal with. But with Regions, let's say you get down, you got like $100 in your account, right? Well, you can take out $800 from the ATM. That's the most you can take out from the ATM, right? So say it's like a Friday, not a payday, and you got $100 left in your account. You can go take out $800 from the ATM. So now your overdraft would be minus $700.
Yeah.
Right? Because you had $100 in. So minus $700, it's not going to clear until afternoon the following Monday. So if you might be getting paid over the weekend or getting some cash or whatever, or if you're not going to spend that much money, but you want that much money just in case you might need to spend that much money, you can just put that money back in on Monday or whatever you have, and then your overdraft is not as much. Yeah, so I did that, dude, for years. If I had to if I had to pay, I had a little bit of rent to pay, and I knew I was like, I only had like $200 in the account because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I just went out the night before. I'll just take out $800 or take out what I needed. Or even, you could even go in and be like, depending on who the people are there, they would give you that money. Like if you'd be like, I need to take out $1,800.
Jeez.
They know that it's going to overdraft your account.
Yeah.
As long as you can put it back in by,
it's the little thing.
You want to do it on ATM because nobody can really tell. But that also starts to hurt you eventually if you don't. Because the overdraft fee is what, $20?
It depends.
$50?
Yeah.
It ain't much more than that.
No.
So what's the worst case scenario? They're going to give me a $100 fine for not having any money? Fuck them. We'll get paid when they get paid. that was my thought process. So I did that for a long time, man. Not very smart. Not a financial expert. Wouldn't suggest that.
Would not suggest doing anything that we have done ourselves.
Yeah, don't suggest doing that. It's not a good look. And then it's also weird because if you show up to the bar and you got $800 worth of 20s, it's just kind of like, well, you have $800 worth of 20s.
Yeah. What do you do on your off time?
Yeah. So
man,
if you never thought about that and you ever get a bind,
I will say this: I personally have done very good the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Didn't spend a lot of money doing random stuff because everything was closed.
Yeah.
But I saved up for that PS5.
Yeah.
I was very happy about that. Thank you, Trump.
With all the bills paid.
It was bills paid. Everything was good.
Yeah.
And now I just spent about $150 that I didn't really necessarily have, but I saved up for because I want to go to Hell Mega Tour in a couple weeks.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm going to go see Fall Out Boy. I'm going to go see Weezer and Green Day. All in the same venue.
Cool.
So, I mean, yeah, I've as I'm getting older in my 20s, I've slowly learned, oh, this is how you save money.
Yeah, I mean, dude, a lot of people don't like Dave Ramsey because he's such a stickler when it comes to, getting out of debt.
Yep.
Don't go in debt and only buying things you can buy with cash, which I don't agree with 100%.
You got to leverage your credit somehow.
Yeah, and well, another thing, so like with credit, I don't think you want to like cash flow everything and have everything on credit, but that's only in the case of like you don't have revenue generating things through credit. But if like, you don't want to put credit on everything like your house and your car and, the refrigerator and the appliances and a home gym and another car and, the kids' private school. And like, you don't want to put all that on credit because then if you lose your job, now you still owe somebody. But I think if you don't have a mortgage, I think a car payment is fine. Or if you only have a mortgage, one car payment's fine. Maybe have the other car paid off. But that's the way I kind of validate it. Because with me, like, I mean, we don't necessarily. Well, I ain't going to go into too many details, but like we're to a point to where like we could have 2 extremely high car payments and be completely fine.
Yeah.
Because there's not any other things. So
# dual income.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works.
And like for her, like, I mean, she got the house right before we met, it was being built. So like she handles the house and like one of those things where like relationships and like trying to like, help out and stuff. Like she doesn't ask me for anything, but I'm one of those where I want to try to help. And I don't ask her like, hey, what do I owe you for being here? And I've got Marcus all the time, those things help out. Me having Marcus lets her work, that type of stuff. But like, I still give her money as if I'm a roommate per se. Right. But like, I don't want her to have to get the car because she's got the house. So I'm going to get the car.
Yeah.
She's got the house.
That's what's called convenient. A stable relationship.
Yeah. Pretty convenient. Like she's not going to have a house and a car and me just playing video games and being a pro wrestler. Like that's not the game. So yeah, man, it's time. She needs something like that. And we need something like for Marcus to be in the car with.
Yes.
Like, it's going to be the Marcus car. Like whatever car, whoever has him is in that car.
Yeah.
That's the.
I mean, there's an extent. I know this for at least my parents. Like as soon as Noelle was born, they were like, okay, we need a kid car.
Yeah.
And then we need a family car. So my mom had a Kia Rio, which is pretty roomy. It has enough space for the carrier and me and both my parents. So it was fine. But then we looked at Shannon's car and there was just like, oh, that's really cramped. It was like I don't even know what it was. It was a Chrysler or something. It was like a 4-door sedan.
Right.
But here recently, because Noelle's starting to do sports, she's starting to do a lot more that she needs to take gear with her, basically.
Yeah.
And they were just like, okay. And a couple years ago, my mom bought a Rogue and my stepdad got an Equinox. And they're basically the same car, but there's so much more space.
Good.
Because they love taking family trips, and nobody hates it more than when you go on a family trip and then you can't bring back any of the souvenirs you bought. Yeah. And that's the biggest issue with my mom.
I like going on trips, but I like being in control of the car.
Absolutely.
So we'd usually rent a car, and we'd usually rent, a Tahoe or a truck or something like that. Like, if I want to be able to be like, hey, the 3 people want to come with us to so and so, and you can pretty much all take a nap back there. And have plenty of space. So yeah, man, that's that. I know we'll probably do like some pop culture stuff here in a second, but we gotta deep dive. We gotta deep dive real quick.
I'm gonna grab water, but
yeah, go ahead and grab water. So this Saturday is UFC 264, I believe, is the one it is, and it is the trilogy. It is the 3rd fight. It is Conor McGregor. It is Dustin Poirier. And this time there's a little bit of bad blood. The first fight, I believe, was in 2014, maybe 13, but I think 14. And, Conor starched him pretty quick. And Dustin, from some of the interviews that I've heard him talk about, Conor got in Dustin's head and Conor was able to manipulate Dustin into being overly aggressive. And Conor's such a phenomenal counter striker that he was able to piece him up and get him out of there. And then Conor went on to be Conor McGregor. That was one of the fights, one of the first tests for Conor. And then, you know, however many years later, this past year, Conor fought Dustin again in the second fight. And during that fight, you watch the first round, you watch it back close. Conor had Dustin hurt. Again, Conor, as far as a striker, is a little bit of a higher level striker than Dustin. Now, the difference in the first fight and the second fight is the first fight was at 145, which is a little bit harder of a weight cut for both, especially for Dustin because he's a bigger guy. Second fight was at 155. So Dustin was able to have a little bit more of a chin, take a little bit more shots. He kind of went to the second round. In the second round, Conor had him hurt, and Conor could have got him out of there, but he just didn't put the gas on. And then Dustin wore that front leg out. Conor was pretty much backing up on his back leg. Dustin caught him, got him out of there with a knockout. So they're 1-1, both with knockouts. Now, the Conor knockout on Dustin was a little bit more legit than the Dustin knockout on Conor. I'm a little biased because I'm a Conor fan. But here we go to the trilogy. Trilogy's this weekend. Some interesting factors here. Dustin Poirier is very happy-go-lucky, Mr. Friendly, not necessarily wanting to fight forever, but he's wanting to get this big payday with Conor and then get a shot at the title against Charles Oliveira. Now let's go to the Conor McGregor. So McGregor in the first fight was the madman, the notorious Mystic Mac Conor McGregor. He was talking a bunch of trash. He was getting in Dustin's head, and that obviously affected the way Dustin fought and ended up hurting him. Second fight was Dad McGregor. And it's just like comeback McGregor. He did it in the Cowboy fight too, where everyone was so excited to watch these press conferences and these interviews. And then you got Conor, who's usually MFing everybody out there just saying like, hey, you know, I'm here to respect the game and to respect these fighters. And I like Cowboy, good man he is for taking this fight. And we're going to have a proper fight. And he said he was going to finish him, and he did. And he was nice afterwards. And then you got the Dustin fight where Conor was like, hey, no bad blood, Dustin, great guy, love Dustin, want to do this for his charity. He goes out there and has the fight, and he gets starched. Now, did Conor win the first round? Absolutely. Was Conor winning the second round prior to getting finished? Absolutely. So there's a little bit of something there. Conor didn't get the job done, and he was being a little bit too nice. So this time, Conor just did his first interviews today, and I listened to every single one of them. So Conor locked himself down. And he's been locked down for a couple months now. I think he did like a 12-week, 8 to 12-week training camp. So he left his family in Dubai. And then they flew to Ireland, and Conor went to wherever he went to train. And he trained MMA this time instead of boxing. For the second fight, 75% of his training was boxing. He was getting ready for Manny Pacquiao. Then it turned into a Dustin Poirier fight. This has been 100% MMA. So I look for Conor to be a little lighter on his feet. To not being in such a boxing predominant stance, throwing more kicks in and out, allowing Dustin to throw punches. Conor's really good at moving his head, rolling with the punches, and countering with that big left hand. And that is essentially how I see the fight going. So the question is, hey, Gunner, what is your pick for the UFC 264 main event? Conor versus Dustin, the trilogy. Who's going to win? Who do I put my money on? You know, we kind of got away from this a little bit with the gambling, but who do we put our money on in this fight? And, you know, here's where I'm at. I think that if these guys fight 10 times, they both win 5. Maybe one of them wins a 6th one. I don't know. Don't know which one that is. But on this fight, Saturday, I 100% believe that Conor gets it done. And I think that it's one of Conor's best performances. I don't think it's quick. I don't think it's I don't think it's like a TKO where it's like he just puts so many hands on him that he quits or whatever. I think it is truly like a vicious knockout. And I think Conor talks all the shit. That's like, because if Conor's a genius. Conor has, in his last several fights, he got beat by Nate Diaz. He beat Nate Diaz. He beat Eddie Alvarez. He gets in a bunch of trouble. He gets beat by Khabib. He beats Cowboy. He gets beat by Dustin. So it's a bunch of win and lose. But he's been a dad during that whole time. And he made a great point today. He said, it's really hard to be a killer when as soon as you get done training in kill mode, you're sticking a bottle in a baby's mouth. Really hard to be a killer like that. So what do? He removed his family from this camp and he just stayed in kill mode. He made also another great point. He said, when you're in training camp, you have designated rest days where your body needs to recover. He said, my rest days when I was, pretty much also being dad during camp rest day was going and playing with the kids, being in the pool, going and doing things that the kids want to do, which takes energy. So now his rest days are absolutely nothing. And then he's feeling fresh going into camp. Is a lot of this hype? Is a lot of this talk? I don't know. What I do know is I think Conor McGregor wins this by knockout. And that's my bet. Conor McGregor wins this fight by knockout. A couple other good fights on the card. You got a heavyweight match, Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. I'm a big Greg Hardy fan just because he's a former football player. I'm also a Tai Tuivasa fan because he's Samoan, but he claims New Zealand. So, I think Tai Tuivasa probably gets that one done. It could possibly go to decision and be an extremely boring fight if they don't want to engage and fight each other because they're both massive human beings that throw heavy hands. But I think Tai could catch him and get him out of there. Sean O'Malley's fighting. He's fighting a replacement fighter. Last minute, Sean O'Malley will get the job done there for sure. The co-main event is Gilbert and oh my goodness, how did that slip my mind? What's the co-main event for UFC 264?
264?
Yeah, pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
It's oh my goodness, it's Gilbert and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So yeah, Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson. Jesus, sorry for the brain fart, people. A lot of people like Gilbert, but he's actually the underdog in this one, I believe, because Stephen Wonderboy is a hell of a striker. And he's probably the worst matchup you can possibly have for Gilbert Burns. So we'll see, man. We will see. I'm excited for that card. I am excited to what there's nothing, if you've watched this show in the past 2 years, there's nothing I enjoy more than talking about Conor McGregor on a Conor McGregor fight week. There's something about that. Vegas came out today or this week and said that the most busy weeks for Vegas when it comes to sports books and it comes to gambling and it comes to the amount of money they allow people to gamble because of the people that are gambling. It's the whales. The best weeks are the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the World Series, and a Conor McGregor fight. That's the most revenue-generating gambling weeks, days, or weekends. So that's pretty interesting. And Conor made the comment that he is not a business man. He is the business man. Like, that was a great little quote from Conor. So they also asked him today, like, in 2021, does the UFC need Conor McGregor? And he kind of beat around the bush on the question and was like, UFC's in a great spot and I love giving back to the UFC and, I'll be here forever. My knockouts will be here forever. My legacy will be here forever. My champ status will be here forever. All the first that he's ever done. So he's essentially UFC forever. Then Stephen A. Smith was like, that was a great answer, but I asked you a direct question. Does the UFC need Conor McGregor? And Conor goes, of course. UFC always needs Conor McGregor. And he's right. Like, they've pre-sold more pay-per-views this week than they've ever pre-sold pay-per-views ever. It's Conor versus Dustin. It's not Conor versus Khabib. It's not Conor for the championship. It's not Conor versus Jorge Masvidal or Nate Diaz again. It's Conor versus Dustin Poirier. Like, Conor is selling this fight, no doubt. It helps that Dustin got to win by knockout in the second fight, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's happening this weekend. And we might be watching that at the office if you want to come, Ethan, at the 12-point office.
Possibly.
Yeah, we might be doing that there. So I'm not sure, but possibly. Yeah, for me though, I got to work out tonight still. I didn't get to work out today. Been pretty consistent with my workouts. If you guys want to know the weight's still around 240. So we've actually cut down a little bit, but looking pretty good. Trying to get my best shape by October. So I got, roughly 3 months. So we'll see how that goes. And we're trending that direction. We're trending in a good direction. I feel good about it. What about pop culture? What we got going on?
Not a lot. Black Widow releases tonight. I thought about going to see it, but I'll probably just wait and watch it tomorrow on the. I will set sail and fly the flag, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
With your
I'm not.
You gonna have an eye patch and a wooden leg?
You know what? I might. I'll have to speak in a Russian pirate accent.
Yeah,
because it's Black Widow, of course.
Right.
I mean, we were just talking about this, and I feel pretty comfortable saying it. We were talking about how we wanted to do reviews.
Yeah.
And it's something that I want to start looking at and doing, but it's probably going to be one of those things where we're going to have to find the right thing at the right time, and we'll have to plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not really anything happening tonight. Or today, or the week. There was just a PlayStation thing that I watched as I was driving here.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. I'm excited for all the games they showed, but meh.
Yeah.
There's nothing like I just recently bought like a bundle of 3 games. It was 2 Ubisoft games. One of them was the new Assassin's Creed that came out last year. I'm pretty excited. It's Norse mythology.
Yeah.
How can I not be excited?
Right.
They went from Greek mythology. Well, they went from Egyptian mythology to Greek mythology to Norse mythology. I am pretty happy with all 3 of those.
Fantastic.
I have heard like the new Assassin's Creed games aren't as good as they used to be, which is funny because I here recently went back and played through the 3rd one, which is from the American Revolution.
It's a great one.
And so patriotic. I gotta tell you something. Sunday, while I was having all those issues, I was just my microphone fell. I was just sitting around and watching videos, flipping through Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and I got a recommended video on YouTube, and it wasn't a lot. It was just Johnny Cash singing "Ragged Old Flag," and I got really emotional.
Yeah.
And I was like near tears. I'm like, why am I emotional about a song about the flag?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this is what it means to be moved by something.
Yeah.
Like it's not because you're sad. It's not because it's nostalgic or anything like that. It's just like, oh, that is an important symbol for literally anybody that lives in this nation.
Yes.
And they should revere it as much as they do. I mean, I've got family that's been in the military. My grandfather was in the military. My two of my uncles were. 2 of my uncles served while I was alive. One of them in Afghanistan, in Yemen, in Kuwait. Like for at least me, and maybe not Noelle because she's so much younger, but living through Iraq and all of the stuff that's been going on in the Middle East, and knowing I had somebody in my family over there, it's just really rough.
I mean, even though Tia was over there, man.
Yeah, and I mean, they're both. I mean, Tia is obviously fine. Yeah. She made it back, and Chuck made it back, but I can't imagine being one of those people with family members that didn't.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of it is seeing something about military members coming back, and then seeing right next to it, a kid being given the folded flag and realizing, oh, he doesn't have anybody.
Yeah.
Folded flags go to the next of kin. If he's the one getting it.
I was like, where's his mom?
Yeah, that's the stuff that really gets me. Anyway, enough sad. But there's not a lot. I mean, personally, I'm glad we needed a summer off of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, last summer was just so much. Thinking back to a year ago, that was when we had the line of Chris and Sting episodes.
Yeah.
I still think we probably should take those down.
Let them ride.
Let them ride. We get canceled. Yeah. Well, we'll just go after.
It's like a badge of honor. It's like, let me get my red plaque and my canceled plaque.
Yeah. Dude, we should start making those.
Put me over there with Brian Callen and Chris D'Elia.
We need to advertise I got canceled from YouTube.
Yeah.
Send them to like Alex Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah.
All the people that have gotten banned.
Yeah, fantastic.
And, you know, I mean.
I'd love my own Alex Jones show. It'd be fantastic.
Ooh, we need to make a Twitter one. We should send it to Trump.
Mm.
Did you hear, actually, pop culture news, did you hear about the class action lawsuit?
Against Facebook, Google, and Twitter?
All of them? Yeah.
That's probably legit.
I mean, it is legit. It is a class action.
I know that, but like the bias of it was concealing what was the language?
It
was perfect.
Yeah. The language in the actual suit is pretty majestic.
I don't know how they're gonna get out of it.
It's one of those things where I understand you don't like Trump. You don't have to like him. I don't like Biden. Nobody does.
Yeah.
If you look at his actual numbers, nobody likes Biden.
Right.
Even though they kept saying, "Oh, he's got 60% approval." Well, yeah, you're only asking.
Yeah, out of 600 people in
600 people
Washington,
in the
DC.
middle. Yeah, because you're too afraid to go anywhere else because of COVID.
Right.
But no, like you don't have to like him. But the fact that a sitting president, just take it on face value, a sitting president was banned off of a public platform
during an election year.
He was not reelected. He was he was not an incumbent. He was leaving office. Sure. You can do it January 21st. No sooner, no later.
Yeah.
Can you ban well, no sooner than January 21st should you have banned him.
Oh.
Anytime after that, it's fair game.
Sure.
He is still a public figure and you probably shouldn't. But definitely not less than 2 weeks away from the inauguration. He still has those 14 days to make a decision that people will need to know about.
Hypothetically speaking, how about Georgia allegedly have found roughly 60,000 votes that need to be not necessarily overturned, but just dequalified. Now, out of those votes, the primary amount of those people are registered Democrats that are dead. Biden won Georgia by 11,000 votes. PA is about to do the same thing.
So here's the thing. New York's mayoral election. Have you seen this?
Yes. It's still going on.
The guy he's Republican. He's a black ex-cop. And he's just saying, hey, guys, there's a lot of these votes that I don't think we should count. Some of them are for him, from what I've been told. I haven't done a lot of research into it. I've heard like the very surface level scraps of information.
Yeah.
But a lot of these Republicans that I've at least heard about that are saying, hey, maybe we should look into this election, are looking at their own elections that are like, hey, I don't want any dirty water in my election.
Right.
I would rather win super clean than lose or win dirty.
Right.
I'd rather lose clean than win dirty.
Yeah.
And I respect that. That's how I've always worked, is if I can get by with as little doubt as possible as to why I'm successful, I'm fine. If there's a little bit of muddy, I'm a little iffy.
Yeah.
But, dude, a mayoral election for New York City, you would think people would care a lot more and want... I know it's not Chicago, but let's be honest here. It's New York. Corruption abounds.
Did you hear how they're doing it?
No.
So look this up. It's either New Jersey or New York, and I'm not sure which. It's one of the two. Anyway, so the way they're actually doing the voting is a tiered, like a tiered system. So you don't vote for one person. You don't vote Republican or Democrat.
Yes.
You vote for, okay, so let's just say, I want Trump to win, but if Trump doesn't win, I want Tim Scott to win. Tim Scott don't want to, I want DeSantis to win. And if he doesn't win, I want what's the homeboy from Texas?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody knows what I'm talking about. And then if he doesn't win, I want Candace Parker to win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even put Joe Biden in the bracket.
Yeah.
Right? So now if like Trump loses or he's just like disqualified or not going to win, they move all my votes into the second place guy that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he's out, they move all my votes to the third place guy. And it just keeps trickling down. But if you don't even have Biden on yours, you just have straight Republicans, then you'd never even get a chance for Biden to even get a vote.
Yeah.
Like, and does that make sense?
Yeah. It's
pretty much the runoff, but before it even starts.
Mm-hmm.
They're still doing it.
I know.
What is this getting done?
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's 2021. Put your social security number into your IP address that's on your phone and vote.
Yeah.
And if it gets hacked, who gives a shit? Already got hacked anyways.
Yeah. Like it is so interesting how little the media cares about an election.
The real stuff.
Yeah. Like this should be done. Like New York City should already have a mayor.
Yeah.
But there's so much pushback against this one guy who happens to be Republican and black and an ex-police officer that they're pulling out all the stops. He
should win, right?
From all of the polls, they're saying that he's going to win. He is at least...
That's the last thing they want in New York City as the mayor.
I mean, they don't want a Republican anyway, but a black Republican that used to be a police officer, that destroys everything that they all like. Oh yeah, this is our platform.
A gun-toting black Republican, get out of here.
Anti-police, pro-black, pro-Democrat.
Yeah,
and he's literally the antithesis to all of that.
Yeah, welcome, Lucifer.
Is it Ron DeSantis? I mean, Ron DeSantis. He's not all white. I'm sure he's got to have a little Cuban in him, right? I'm pretty sure he's Cuban. I should check that. I like
his slang, bro. I like his swag.
Ron DeSantis is probably if Trump. Here's the thing. It's very interesting. Both of them have said. I'm pretty sure if either Trump or DeSantis goes in, the other one steps back and puts their power behind the other one. It's very interesting. I respect both of them, but. Personally, I would rather see Ron DeSantis be a president just because I don't want to have to deal with another 4 years of people saying, I hate Trump. But,
well, they're going to be saying, I hate DeSantis.
I mean, yeah, but how
because
are
he's
they
a Trump
attack
supporter.
him? I mean, sure, but.
Dude, all these Republicans that are running under Trump stuff and supporting Trump, they're going to get the same backlash.
I understand that. But, again, personally.
Because who's going to be at their rallies?
I mean, it's all Republicans.
Macho man. I want to be a macho. It's going to be Trump.
I'm curious. I'm trying to find what his...
I just said
Shit,
that.
he was in the Navy?
DeSantis?
Yeah.
The only reason I said Cuban is because of Miami. I don't know why.
I mean, it's probably
makes
perfectly...
sense to me.
Yeah. He's Roman Catholic, too. Not that it necessarily matters, but I'm trying to find it. I want to know because I'm very, very curious.
He's got swag, though. I like his style.
He is very, very smart. He is...
Have you seen the Make America Florida again?
No.
Fantastic. Maffa.
Jeez. I will say this. From how I see Ron DeSantis, he is a better Trump. He says the right things.
He's a political Trump.
He's a political Trump.
Yeah, he's Trump without mean tweets.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I could go for that. I don't mind.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I hate Twitter now because Trump's not on it.
Dude, there's no reason to have Twitter.
Yeah, Trump was Twitter.
The only reason I still have Twitter is because I only follow like video game stuff and the people that put out YouTube videos that I watch literally every single one of them. Those are the only people I follow.
There was these guys did a deep dive. That guy's David Patrick Bett, deep dove John McAfee. So he did one on Trump. Yeah. And where was I? I just lost my thought. He did one on. Oh, sorry. He did one on the Trump and news, like the correlation. So CNN is almost down like over half.
Oh yeah. Their numbers. Views. CNN is literally burning to the ground.
Yeah. But MSNBC is running very, very like not just pro and con, but like just Trump stories still.
Yeah.
And they're actually leading the news networks, besides Fox, of like most views.
Ron DeSantis is Italian.
Even better. Mafia.
Good.
He came
no,
down
whoa.
He came down with the Mafia when the Mafia went to Florida.
Jeez.
Love it.
Anyway, yeah, no. See, I love when I see this. Philip Defranco, he is pretty middle of the road, but he's in California. He's left. One of his videos this week was, I never thought I'd say this, Trump was right. And it wasn't that Trump was actually right. It was just Trump saying, I know I'm great. CNN will burn without me. You just watch. 3 years. I give them 3 years. And Philip Defranco just had to be like, yeah, he called it, because I'm doing great. MSNBC's doing great. CNN, awful.
Yeah, they're the only news channel bombing.
Yeah, because nobody cares.
Yeah.
Once you take away Trump, which fair play, Trump gave them thousands and thousands of views, millions of views. I shouldn't say thousands. He gave him millions of views because anybody that does not care about anything else but Trump, like whether or not they hate him or like him, they wanted to figure out, what is CNN saying? Yeah. Even the people that like Trump would check CNN.
Just to bash them.
Yeah, just to say, oh, they're wrong. Yeah. Because they're always wrong.
Yeah. And every press conference he did, he talked about fake news and CNN. So,
yeah. I mean,
probably in cahoots together.
It's one. What if that's the main conspiracy? New conspiracy. Trump is a Democrat. He always was.
Trump is the leader of CNN.
No, no. With the class action lawsuit, it's long overdue. Like, the more and more I steam and sit on internet censorship, the more it pisses me off.
Yeah.
The internet is based in America. Anywhere, if anything's based in anywhere else, that's fine. You can have your own political rules about, X, Y, and Z. You run Twitters out of, X, Y, and Z. It's fine. But let's be honest here. Let's all be strictly honest. Any company running out of America should follow America's views.
Yeah. Okay. You can't censor our president and then allow other presidents to talk about genocide that's happening in their countries.
Exactly. If you're going to remove Donald Trump because you didn't like what he was tweeting, even if it was on January 6th, which that's a whole nother can of worms that we may need to just do a whole deep dive into personally.
Okay.
But January 6th, Trump said all the right things, all the things that people were saying. Trump should say this. He's not saying this. Why isn't he telling them to stop? He told them to stop. He said, go peacefully and protest, which is what you're allowed to do in America.
Yeah.
We just spent a whole day blowing shit up because we love doing it because we have the freedom to do it.
Sure. And, an entire summer, they didn't protest.
Well, here's the thing. Last year, there was plenty of protests. Good.
Sure.
But every protest ended in a riot.
Sure.
So what's the problem? Is it the riots? Yes. Is it the protest? Not necessarily. No. Is it the protests that end in riots?
Sure.
Yes.
Was it all of them? Yeah, sure. 90%.
90%. Chattanooga, we did good. We did good. We broke one lamppost.
Yeah.
I was there. I took pictures. I got to tell you something. I don't know if I told you this, but I'll tell you something about that.
Okay.
Because I was there.
Okay.
On the ground. Doing journalism. It was fun.
Yeah.
Unlike the people that on January 6th, that are still PTSD because they were inside and they were taking pictures of the rioters and they were afraid for their lives. Yeah. Whatever, dude. Yeah, whatever. You're a journalist. You're taking pictures. Come on.
Another thing that I read up on is how badass the Capitol Police is.
Well, yeah, badass until they're coming into every single state.
Well, okay, let me tell you something. You're telling me that out of all the different ways the government can spy on us and how they can pull information and have demographics and know what people are going to do before they even do it through algorithms. You're telling me you want to short staff January 6th, the Capitol building?
Uh-huh.
That's what you're telling me.
Mm-hmm.
And you also got cops that are just letting people in?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to tell me. And you're going to tell me you didn't know that this might possibly happen because you got Mr. Mean Tweet in there sending mean tweets. So you wanted to understaff it.
Here's. Do you want the spicy news? Do you want the spicy news about January 6th? The feds did I almost said 9/11 because of the meme, but feds did January 6th.
Yeah, they had informants inside the Capitol building.
They had informants in the Facebook groups. And you're telling me Facebook wants to remove Donald Trump? How about you start with all of the groups that are coordinating violence? If you want to call January 6th violence, that's fine. You can remove anybody that was a part of the Facebook groups. But if you're going to do that, make sure you take off Antifa.
Yep.
Antifa's doing the same thing, but worse.
Yeah.
Explicitly worse.
Yeah.
They did a whole summer of nothing but January 6th every day in every other major city, including DC.
Yeah, with other not capital, but federal buildings.
Exactly. And guess what? 4 years ago, the Women's March did the same exact thing that anybody on January 6th did without them letting them in. They broke in.
Oh.
They broke into the Capitol and then demanded whatever they were saying to be heard. Guess what? That's allowed. That's okay. I'm not complaining about that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Because your tax dollars are paying those people to have that Capitol building.
Heck,
It's our Capitol building.
Our tax dollars are paying for that Capitol building and their salaries, even though they keep jacking up their salaries.
Yeah.
You remember one thing that George Washington said? Don't let the people in power control how much they're getting paid.
Yeah.
That's obviously not verbatim, but that is one thing George Washington and the Founding Fathers said not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. Don't have political parties because it's just going to end up in two. And the second one, don't let the people in power pay themselves with your money.
Yeah.
They're just going to give themselves all of the money.
I've been looking into tax loopholes. That's been my new
which is entirely legal.
Yeah, that's my new late night study sesh. You know how I've been through fasting and I've been through betting and I've been through all this stuff. It's now tax loopholes. So
we're gonna fast forward to 13 years later, and you're gonna be figuring out how can I go the speed of light without moving.
Yeah. Well, dude, did you know that obviously, I think people know without knowing if you don't do the research, but there's several countries that you can go to, and they call them tax havens. Well, there's some countries you can go to and just not pay taxes, but you got to be a citizen of that company or that country. So let's just call it the UAE, your most popular, Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And then you've got Malaysia, Thailand, the Cayman Islands, the Bahamas, Belize, and a couple more. But right now, the most popular seems to be like the UAE, Dubai, because that's where the majority of expats go. Because it's easy to get a citizenship. You don't necessarily have to buy into a large amount of real estate to become a citizen. And you can get, it's very English speaking and very English type jobs that you could have in America.
I'm pretty sure Dubai is outside of all Western countries. For all the surrounding countries that aren't English speaking, Dubai has the highest population of fluent English speakers. And
the safest place. It's one of the safest places to be. There's no petty crime.
Well, there was an explosion a couple days ago, but
there's no petty crime. There's no you're going to get robbed by somebody at a gas station or shot. But
everybody has money. Yeah. They don't have to pay taxes.
Right.
Wonder what happens.
So there's no taxes there. But a way you can also get away with this is if you get a business and you run it out of Dubai, or if you there's more businesses in the Cayman Islands than there is people. Funny. Anyways, so in Dubai, if you as long as you pay the taxes locally, so it's domestic taxes and tax on the room you're staying in, tax on the food you buy, tax on transportation, all that stuff. Any money you make from another country that comes in there, it's a foreign tax exchange loophole.
Yeah.
You don't get taxed on it.
No.
So if you make $1 million in America, but you're in Dubai and you're no longer an American citizen, you just work, you have a work visa in America, you make $1 million.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can immediately take that money, send it to an American bank, and you get $1 million.
Yeah.
So I think it's either, depending on what place you go to, it's between 60 and 180 days that you have to have residence in that country.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you have a home, and then one of them is you got to have a home that's worth $750,000. You can buy golden visas. You can buy, it's crazy. You can buy citizenship. It just, it's strange.
Plenty of famous people just buy citizenships.
Yes.
Other places.
In a lot of places, you can only store so much money. So in the Bahamas, a regular bank account or an investment account, you can only store up to $250,000 per account.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, a lot of these super ultra rich people, it doesn't necessarily make sense because they'd have to, bring in so much money.
Yeah.
But for a person that's making let's just say if you're making $250,000 The government's getting half of that, essentially. So now you're actually bringing home $120,000. It's so much money you're making that you're not bringing home. If you go to Dubai, now you got $250,000. You just doubled your salary.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the place to be.
You'd think.
Any of those places. The Bahamas is probably the most convenient because it's damn near over there by Florida.
Yeah.
But that's the one you got to have a $750,000 place of residence. And there's just not much real estate.
No.
You know?
Because plenty of people are doing that.
So you're having to build a $750,000 condo or home on like a half acre or an acre, right? Which, I mean, I guess it's just how you get it evaluated. But yeah, I'm loving this tax loophole thing. There's like charities that you can create. There's did you know just sending, like buying a gift for somebody, as long as you have the receipt and the proof that it was a gift, that's a write-off?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Like Christmas is a write-off.
Yeah.
Birthdays are a write-off.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't cost more than $13,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a bunch of yeah. So I've never had an accountant. I've always used TurboTax because I've never made enough money to like have an accountant.
No.
Not that I'm going to make enough money to where I really want an accountant this year, but I think I'm going to get one this year anyways, just to learn. Like, I want to get one and be like, hey, man, let's go as sketchy as we can do.
I want to be legal, but make me the most money you can.
Right. I want, like, Donald Trump to be like, hey, buddy, good job.
Exactly. It's the same thing as what I was saying earlier. I want as much as I can for myself. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do anything illegal. I'll pay my share, sure. But I want to keep as much money as possible.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me that you have to pay out 40%. And not that I pay out 40%, but like the majority of my money comes from bonuses.
Yeah.
And that is taxed 40%.
Which you'd think you're already getting paid your salary.
Yeah.
And your share is 40% of that salary. Why is any bonuses being taxed?
Yeah.
That's the money that's supposed to be for you. Yeah. Because you did a good job and you made a lot of money.
Like, I would rather just have my salary be what my bonus plus my salary would be, and I would actually save about, and it's still a large chunk, you probably save anywhere from 7 to 12%.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It's a shit ton of money.
So yeah, man, I don't know. It's a lot of things to think about.
Especially, listen, I have never made more than probably $30,000 in a year. I would even wager $25,000 in a year.
Yep.
If I could have all of my money, I wouldn't be in the situation I am right now. Yeah. I would, listen, I saw something about this here recently, and I thought it was very prolific. The 9 to 5, 5-day work week, the 40-hour work week is not good for somebody that is living alone, because that you're only working. Who's going to do the house jobs? Who's going to do all the housework? Who's going to clean? Who's going to cook? Who can do all of that? Nobody. Literally, if you were to break it down, you would be sacrificing one of the 3 key elements to human society. If you're working 40 hours a week and unable to do any of the things that you need to do, socialize, clean, cook, provide for yourself, let alone anybody else, it just doesn't work right now. It doesn't work anymore. And someplace here in, I think it was Denmark, tried a 4-day work week, and productivity shot up like,
I saw that article today,
80% or like 100% or something like that.
Yeah.
Just by cutting 1 day out of the week.
Yeah.
I think they still worked the same amount of hours. They worked more per day, but because they had 3 days off, they were so much more.
Okay. So, hey, Gunner, you got to work 10 hours a day for 4 days. Cool. All right, cool.
I'll do that. I've been talking to my boss, Judy. I was just like, Judy, if I have to work 3-4 like doubles every week, I'd much rather do that. Because I don't have enough time for here.
Yeah.
I only get 1 day off a week nowadays, and that's okay. I mean, I got January 4th off or July 4th off.
Yeah.
But I didn't work. Like, I worked the rest of the week.
Right.
Last week was a hell of a bad week.
Yeah.
I think, speaking back to that hand thing, maybe it was just stress. I don't know.
Could have been.
Because I was really fucking stressed, dude. Yeah, no, this is, I've been really thinking personally about just modern society and just like how screwed we are and how I'm going to attack my life knowing that we're screwed.
Oh, man. You haven't heard of my $1 million idea, have you?
We'll talk about it later. I want to give this $1 million away.
Oh, I'm not talking about it on here.
Good. We should.
We need to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, we should wrap that up. That was an hour and 10 minutes. It's not bad.
Yeah, man. So some things we're working on. I know we like to kind of end the episodes by saying this, but we've got some more content we're about to start pushing out. Obviously, the podcast has been pretty damn consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know of another one that's, like this around here that's like has a day and they get it done and they have guests and it's different. And, I don't know anybody like that. We got some good guests that are in the pipeline. Like I said, Chris was going to come on tonight, not McNelly, but Bomick. And you can talk a little fitness in the fitness industry. And I didn't know this, but the fitness space is becoming one of the top industries right now.
Easy.
So
you got Peloton and you got Echelon.
Yeah. So he was, telling me about that. And Echelon grew 1,000% last year. And he said like literally every day was like Black Friday.
Easy.
So we're doing that. And another one of my buddies, I don't want to say his name yet, but he has a very popular YouTube channel. I think you looked it up, had like 300,000 subscribers.
Yep.
Several $100,000 or 100,000 view videos, maybe a couple million view videos. But he's back in Chattanooga now, and he's opening up a couple of coffee houses. And I talked to him today on LinkedIn. We're going to try to get him in here to talk about it, catch up, maybe get some advice on some content and stuff from him. And then DeMarcus Rogers is boxing on the 17th. He's got that coming up. Roger Hitman Hilly just announced his fight that's coming up here in a couple months. Joseph Francisco, I've actually got to sit down and talk to him. He's wanting me to, he didn't like his shape that he came in. He don't know if he listened to the podcast, but he thought what I thought. And it was, a cardio thing, a shape thing, maybe an adrenaline dump, that type of thing, and a weight cut deal. So he's wanting me to take over his strength and conditioning and his nutrition. So I've never done that for a fighter, I've done it like for bodybuilding. I've done it for, athletes.
You haven't done for me. What the hell?
I've given you plenty of advice. There's been plenty of golden nuggets that have came through this show that you could have took and worked with.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to put together something for him. I like that challenge. I like that puzzle, trying to figure out, what would work best. A lot of people like to work out to look good. I want him to work out to perform good. So that'll be a fun way to do it. And then I still want to get Nature Boy Paul Lee in here, man. I think that now that we're getting some subscribers and we're getting some views and we're becoming a little bit more, legit on surface value, I think he'll end up coming in. The Facebook page is created. I have not promoted it. I have not shared it. I don't even want anybody to see it because I want to backlog it. I want to have, stuff up on there, pictures up on there. And then we can do like some blog type stuff on there. But then also when we do certain episodes, I want to do certain episodes live. Like, a special episode, we'll do it live. Or a fight companion, we do it live. I think a fight companion on Facebook would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we'll do that and plenty of content. Ethan's wanting to do the reviews with Gunner. Or the reviews
I just want to I just want to have fun.
Yeah, man. Dude, listen, I've been saying this for a long time. In the beginning, this was never to make money. This was, more of like I'm not going to say that. You do things to make money, but it wasn't to make money based off of the views that we get through the channel. It was more like, can we get some sponsorships or some merchandise or some stuff like that going?
Absolutely.
And then it came into like, we're going to do like an ESPN type show. We're going to do like a wrestling show. We're going to do like a one-man solo cast type show. Then we're going to do like more of the Rogan, which that kind of took off the best. And then COVID happened and we had to get away from it, go back to the solo cast, which kind of got me out of the groove. But then we kept doing them, so we still had the content. So now it's like, hey, let's get back into interviews, and then we have solo casts. Let's go like with a theme. Let's recap what we did over the past week. Talk about, the one thing that I want to talk about, and then jump into pop culture type stuff that Ethan has on his brain. Let me just kind of speak on it, and then get into some other content and see how this thing goes. I don't know what the views are or the count is. If you can look it up real quick on YouTube, but I believe we're pushing 400 subscribers on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And we're pushing like over 5,000 hours watched. So, like I said, we've hit the hours watched. We've got about a month and a week left to hit those 1,000 subscribers. That was the goal date, 60 days. So we're about halfway there, a little less than halfway there, and we're pacing there. So before I get long-winded again and rant like I like to do, let's subscribe on YouTube. Please subscribe. It's not that it's the easiest thing. A lot of people don't understand how you subscribe on YouTube. If you have a Google account, or if you have a Gmail address, or if you just have a YouTube account, you can subscribe on YouTube. It's very simple. You just got to be logged in, go in there and press the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, hey, how about this? Create an account. Create it and say, name it, I want to subscribe to Gunner's YouTube account at gmail.com and go subscribe. How about that? Easy. Apple iTunes. We got to get those up on Buzzsprout. But Apple iTunes, go on there, leave a review, 5-star review, preferably. We're still about 25 away from 100, which 100 puts us in a whole new category of the algorithm. So it's not that difficult. If I've got to create 25 fake Gmail accounts to make this happen, I'll figure it out. All right. Go to Spotify, watch it over there. The Buzzsprout's been down, but I think that's because the last few episodes haven't been up and more people have been watching on YouTube. So, you know, it's give or take. Either YouTube's up or Buzzsprout's up. It is what it is. I don't care how you watch it. All right, that's it. So, recap. If you're gambling, the underdog is Conor McGregor. You can take him. If you really want to do it the right way, take Conor McGregor by knockout. It increases your odds a little bit more. And then that's it, man. We might have a guest next week. We might not. We might try to knock out one of those reviews in a couple of weeks. We might not. I don't know.
I think so.
Some things are happening. I definitely want to get a workout video type thing in, start doing those. And then we'll go from there. But I appreciate all of you listening yet again. It's fun. I get to get up here, like Ethan said. These are fun. We get to listen. I talk to Ethan more than I talk about, besides my family and Tia and Marcus. I talk to Ethan more than anybody.
I appreciate that.
So that's it. And here's another thing that I think you guys should try. Talking for an hour, not necessarily just to yourself, but to someone. If you can maintain eye contact and hold a conversation with somebody for an hour, and I'm telling you, I had a business meeting today with 3 guys, 1 that I knew, 2 that I have no clue who they were. I guarantee you, if you had a timer on who spoke the most during this an hour and a half meeting, it's probably me, 87%. Like, it was a podcast to me. Like, I podcast them. And, you know, it's fun. Like, I don't want to, like, not bragging because I'm not good at all, but I'm getting a lot better at this shit. And when it comes to leading a conversation, that's where it's helped me the most. So that's fun. And we'll keep having people on, more business-like people, keep the fighters coming in, maybe some of my friends just come here and tell some cool stories. And one of my buddies really wants to come on here. So that's where we're at. I appreciate you guys. I've been long-winded yet again. I just went from an hour and 11-minute podcast to an hour and 17-minute podcast. But we will catch you guys next week on Chat with Gunner. Thanks for coming in. Bye.